G'day legends, today I'm going to be breaking down my theory, my inner headcanon about how I believe Dana White absolutely destroyed and took the bottom out of the PFL completely, okay? A masterful business move against the PFL's co-owner, Don Davis, whose only quality that he brings to the table is that he knows how to grow a business, but he has somehow been able to set the B leagues of the MMA world aflame. Now, I know that this video is going to get absolutely no views. This is for the hardcores of the hardcores only. Even no views for a channel like this, a failed channel of over 900 videos. But I do think if you create MMA content, this topic is just one that has to be stated, put on the record, sort of collated for the history, for the annals of time, and this is my working theory towards it. Now, you guys know me, right? The regular viewers and my theories. Some of the facts here might be a little off, but I do believe that the general ideas are 100% on point. So please, do feel free to correct me down there in the comments and slot out the final timeline here. And then if I do need to correct anything or clear anything up, we can do that in the live stream or maybe in a post video, post amble, after a video, I can bring up one of the comments and we can talk about it. But let us get right into it, right? My theory of how Dana White managed to absolutely gut the PFL and why this is the writing on the wall for the PFL. Now, first of all, the premise itself, the PFL has been gutted, the writing is on the wall, and the PFL is over. What evidence do I have to even suggest that opening argument? Okay. New rumors have dropped about the PFL contracts. We'll start with that. There's 3 points as to why I believe the PFL is over. Here are the 3 reasons why. The new rumors have dropped, and it looks like the overall prize money for the PFL tournament has dropped from $1 million to $500,000. We'll find out whether or not those rumors are correct by the end of the year. Now, this shows that the entire thing that the PFL was set on, their main point, the idea that they had a regular season with big prize money at the end, that's the core idea of the PFL, that is now on a downward trajectory, right? That plus their staggeringly low pay-per-view sales for Francis Ngannou versus that tall bloke, and their lack of funds to pay the Bellator talent that they folded in to fight for the PFL or to fight under their own Bellator roster. The funds for that have completely dried up. Right, the second thing is the core idea of a regular season in MMA is now being challenged by the Grandfathers Fighting League, okay? These do seem to be death symptoms for the PFL. Maybe that last one, maybe that needs a little bit more elaboration, okay? The distinguishment that the PFL had from the UFC is that the PFL is a regular season. So it must be catering to some sort of MMA fan that wants to see MMA presented to you in a regular season format like other sports. However, the GFL is going to do that exact same thing, except with some of your old favorite names, just like Bellator used to do. So this year, the PFL is going to have its whole regular season with a bunch of people from PFL Europe and PFL bloody Timbuktu, mate. They got all their weird regional setups on their own. A whole bunch of prospects that you've never heard of, that you don't care about, versus the GFL, which is going to do the exact same thing, except it's going to have Kevin Lee and Paige Van Zandt and every single MMA fighter that's still alive that isn't fighting for the UFC. This is going to split the already minuscule audience that wants regular season MMA content into 2. Right, so that is my evidence as to why I believe the PFL is on its last breath. The prize money has dropped, the promised continuation of the Bellator product didn't even last 12 months, and now they have direct competition in their own model. Now, what did Dana White do to help pull the bottom out of the PFL? For that, we need to go all the way back to 2021, 2022. PFL. It's on ESPN and it's slowly growing. In the UFC, it's ticking along nicely post 2020, the big lie, and they're putting on shows at the Apex and also in Abu Dhabi. But in the background, the Saudis are also experimenting with sports tourism, and they are pumping money into boxing, tennis, and golf. But MMA is the fastest growing sport in the world. And around 2021, 2022, the Saudis, they want in. So because the UFC, they already have such a good relationship and are working so well with Abu Dhabi, The Saudis, they decide to get their foot in the door with the easier target, the PFL. And what I see here in 2021 is a quiet rivalry between the PFL, Saudi Arabia, and Dana White and Abu Dhabi. Now this presses on into 2022, 2023, with the UFC and Abu Dhabi getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the PFL is just continuing to burn money, okay? But it's actually seeing viewership go down as the shine of this new thing, like this new thing that popped into the MMA scene, that is starting to wear off, and this starts to turn into disinterest and then apathy. So the PFL Saudi Arabia partnership is not going well around this time, where the Abu Dhabi UFC partnership is going absolutely fantastically. But the Saudis, they're spending money on other things. And the big thing that the Saudis want out of all this spending money is that they want attention. They want to bring positive attention to their culture and to their wealth and to their region. They want social clout. They want influence. That is the name of the game. So in 2023, the Saudis play their big move. They merge boxing and MMA. They help bring Francis Ngannou to Tyson Fury. Now, it's around this time, and I don't know how it happens. Maybe the Saudis are incredibly smart people. They know what they want, and they're trying multiple attack points like you would do in a war when you know what you want to get, right? And they don't just set up Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, but they also reach out to Dana White as well and see if they can get some talks going with the UFC, and they do. And now Saudi Arabia and Dana White have a quiet working relationship. It's tentative and it's young, but there's talks going on between the two of them. So in 2024 is when we see all of this culminate. 2024 starts, the Saudis, they have paid for the PFL to extend into new markets. They have paid for Francis Ngannou. They are paying for PFL versus Bellator. And the final nail in the coffin happens. Francis versus the tall guy. It gets 10K pay-per-view buys. Now, even a guy with endless money isn't as much of an idiot to keep throwing his money down a hole, okay? Especially when you've also been working with one of the best minds in the business for combat sport, Dana White. And you and Dana White start to put on profitable shows in Saudi Arabia with the UFC, and even turned a profit on the Sphere, which never should have turned a profit. It was a unfathomable amount of money that they threw at just an MMA show. And then after this guy named Dana White knows how to make money in business, he goes up to the Saudis and he sits them down and he says he knows what's wrong with boxing. He knows what's been wrong with boxing for years and how to fix it. And it's a thing that the Saudis are super passionate about. They want to set boxing up properly like MMA is set up. And Dana White might be saying, I can help you get what you want with boxing. I can help you set it up properly. I know the market. I know the contracts. I know how things need to be run. But this support with the PFL, it needs to stop. And now we land here in 2025. And the Saudis and the TKO group are ready to launch their new boxing league. And the PFL is stuck with a heavyweight in Francis Ngannou that's on a couple of million per fight. He's got to fight these no-name opponents who are on $2 million per fight. They've got a Bellator roster that they can't afford. Have a product in the PFL regular season that nobody is interested in, and their bank has just walked out the door to go and hang with the UFC. Dana White, by being a better businessman than Don Davis, actually showing off a product that makes money, has been able to snatch his investor from the game. And doing that has killed the PFL. That is my working theory on what the hell has been going on behind the scenes in this rivalry between the UFC versus the PFL and the sexy bank in the middle that is the Saudi government. You let me know what you think about that down there in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, g'day. My name is Dougie. I try and make an MMA video every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. Today's Friday, so this is the last video of the week. Bloody enjoy your weekend, boys. I'll see you during the UFC Apex 101. I'll be live streaming for that. If you wanted, I also try and go live live about 3 times a week, plus the live streams during the cut. So about 4 times a week, really. You know, what a deal. 3 times a week, plus I chuck in one for free. If you want to know when all of that happens, you hit that subscribe button down there. If you want to know when I go live, you hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. If you're already on board with the channel and you like this theory, you reckon this is about right, hit that like button. Let me know about it down there in the comments where you think I might have got it wrong. I'm sure I did get it wrong in some places, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. And if you are a paying member of the channel, good God, thank you so much. Please, Lord, continue your support. But thank you so much. Your names are up on the next slide. Thank you to all of these bloody legends. And until then, I will see you all in the next one.